Aloha, and thank you for joining us today. My name is Sarah Hunt, and I will be the host of this new show called Better Government. Better Government is a new television series addressing new ideas to create a better and more efficient government. With us today, we have Republican House Caucus members. Representative Lynn Finnegan, who is our Republican leader, would you please introduce your district as well as the other members in the Republican caucus?
Sure, and thank you so much, Sarah, for having us here today. Better government is what we're all about. My name is Lynn Finnegan. I represent the areas of Aiea, Foster Village, through to Kaneohe and Moanalua Garderns. And I have with me today our minority floor leader, Kymberly Pine, Representative Kymberly Pine from Ewa Beach, representing Ewa Beach. And then we also have Gene Ward. He represents Hawaii Kai through to Kalama Valley, and also Representative Cynthia Thielen, and she represents Kailua and Kaneohe.
Great. Can we get into the needs and concerns represented by your community? Representative Lynn Finnegan, we'll start with you.
Thanks, Sarah. You know, when I go out into my community, one of the things that our constituents talk about the most is basically their time and how are they supposed to pay for their bills in such a hard economic time like this. So job creation and stability in jobs, as well as education for our kids. And those are the two main issues in my district. And my district also encompasses both Pearl Harbor and Hickam. And so military is very important to our area.
Representative Thielen?
Definitely cost of living. Cost of living is one of the biggest issues in the Kailua, Kaneohe Bay area. When I meet with my constituents, when I go door to door, when I talk to them in the community, cost of living is a big factor. That, I have to add, involves energy and the higher cost of energy that everyone is feeling when they pay their monthly utility bills. Education, of course. Kailua and Kaneohe Bay area people are passionate about good education for their youngsters or for their grandchildren, and I agree with that wholeheartedly.
Representative Ward?
Sarah, ditto all the above. The cost of living is a big concern, and the image and the reputation of my district. Oh, Hawaii Kai, they don't have any problems with costs, prices, income, or anything, and it's right the opposite, because I do go door to door, and not that many people are home. In fact, 50 to 60% of the people are not there because they're working 1 and 2 jobs to make ends meet to make those high mortgage payments. But in addition to that, all of you know that Hawaii Kai was the first planned community. Well, we are slowly becoming unplanned, and one of the biggest concerns outside of the economics is overdevelopment. We've had developers come in and slice part of our mountains down to put in another dozen of houses, and people are fed up. We've had cabins proposed to be put on the beautiful, pristine Ka'iwi coast. People are fed up with that. And we've got now other things that are happening, which overdevelopment is a big, big concern. And I should also say that, again, contrary to the impression, we have roosters, feral chickens, keeping my constituents up at night. And that is a big concern. But even now, foreshadowing that, and it's just come to her neighborhood in Kailua, koki frogs. And I've just created a koki frog task force to make sure we know that they're there and they're not going to get a toehold. But I've got a number of other things about our district, but just so to set the record straight about what the stereotype versus what the reality of Hawaii Kai is about.
And Representative Kymberly Pine?
Well, for our district in Ewa Beach, of course, it's traffic. We have a huge problem of, as Gene said, of overdevelopment. We're the classic community that can show all of Hawaii what not to do when you overdevelop a community. And so for me, what I'm trying to do is to help balance the creation of job development, because we do want the type of construction going on in our community that brings jobs to the Ewa Plain. But we also don't want those additional homes to affect our quality of life, because right now traffic is the worst in Ewa Beach compared to other parts of the island. And so we're trying to balance that right now, and especially with our Ewa development plan that we're discussing, it's going to be a very crucial time that the residents of my community get involved in this process.
As Republican members, what do you guys feel will be your tough issues to tackle at the legislature this year?
It's the economy, stupid. I mean, sorry. Sorry. We have all mentioned the economy, and let me say a couple of things, because people are really concerned about what's been going on nationally, what's going on internationally, and what really comes down to retaining the jobs of our constituents. So we've got to look at the market, the tourism market. Are we going to maintain enough of that number one industry to keep enough jobs here so we're not going to have our unemployment funds depleted? The second thing is the Small Business Caucus, which we have created and now have activated. Senator Sloan and I will be meeting in a couple of days. I've met with the House counterpart, and we are going to make sure that as the people of Hawaii are told to tighten their belt, we in the government want to make sure that there are no new taxes, particularly on businesses, and no new fees. Because we know if people are going to retain jobs in the small businesses, of which we are basically a small business economy, we can't make the cost of doing business, which is one of the highest in the nation, go up any further. So the Small Business Caucus is going to be working on that, plus to incentivize some of the things that I know Representative Thielen will talk about in terms of energy, creating new jobs. I'd like to bring more military contractors here, because that's basically still a growth industry. The Department of Defense has never had cuts, and we have been importing rather than creating our own industries for that purpose. So the economy is that, and I think we're going to be smart. We're going to have better government, because we are aware that it is the economy that's going to be one of the biggest Achilles heel between this session and the next election. So
one of the biggest ways that we can help our economy is to reduce the cost of energy, and I think Representative Thielen, you have had the best ideas so far at the legislature. So maybe you can touch on a little bit about those ideas.
Absolutely. I think that if we look at our energy field and the opportunity for Hawaii to be a leader not only in the nation but in the world with renewable energy, that's where we bring the new jobs. That's where we bring the money into the economy. Right now we're sending $7 billion, that's with a B, not with a M, $7 billion a year out of state each year to buy foreign oil. Now, does that make sense when we have the ocean with its surge, when we have sun, and when we have the winds? No. So when we help the renewable energy sector come to Hawaii and help them begin to develop here, we create the jobs for our young people, we create the money in our economy, and every billion that we leave in the economy instead of buying foreign oil helps Hawaii. So that's a very simple answer. That's a growing sector too. That's not a sector that is in a depression.
That's true, and it's a great way to diversify our economy.